Go get your cat and stroke him menacingly.
I don't know where he is. He's probably with my brother. I know. The mysterious Margaret.
Yeah,
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Hi, Mom.
That's me. Hi, everyone. Here in San Francisco. And do I have a superpower?
Maybe the numbers ability?
All right. And memory, some memory. Yeah, I would say, because I do remember things that people often forget. And what do you think, Mayor?
I like it. Very specific numbers, too. So, you know, if you need, like, phone numbers memorized, she's your woman.
Well, I try. If we get off the just saving it in your contacts.
Okay, Brell.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brell. I'm with eXp Realty. My superpower is my sarcasm, which I have used to deal with in my former career, and now kind of back to my career as a corporate bankruptcy attorney, dealing with all very aggressive, assertive, testosterone-filled men. Sarcasm comes in very handy.
I bet they love that.
They don't know what to do with it.
Sassy girl.
Karen Westphalen.
Hi, Karen Westphalen, Director of Fundraising and Scholarship Chair this year. My superpowers are probably planning and organizing. So it involves that stuff that Lisa talked about, knowing how to tap into people's strengths and things that they like to do and all that fun stuff. And yeah, planning. Yeah, I do use it at home, Diana, and drives my husband crazy. So anyway, can't help myself.
Casey.
Hey guys, I'm Casey. I'm a veterinarian at UC Davis. My superpower is probably that I can talk to literally anyone at any time about anything. I'm extremely extroverted, so yeah, I just talk to strangers sometimes.
Yeah.
Diana Schmiegel.
Hi, sorry I'm late again. Real quick, mine, I would say planning and also Google Master at my house, because my husband does not Google anything and I Google everything for him or others. I'm just like, hey, let me look that up really quick. So I'm getting even better at it, I think, in general, especially today's world.
Leah.
Oh, and I'm Leah Rosenberg, and I help serve on some of the committees. My superpower is that I'm pretty friendly. I will talk to anybody also, and give me an empty counter and I can fill it in 10 minutes.
I can relate.
Yeah. You can tell.
I do the same.
Wendy.
I'm Wendy Weitzel. I'm a journalist and PR professional, and I have been told that I'm observant, but it's probably to a fault because things like right now, I'm very observant that my husband has these eyebrows that are going like over his glasses and who won't let me, and it's really bugging me.
Give him 4 glasses of wine for dinner and he'll sleep soundly.
And then what? Cut them?
Yeah.
Karen Lemke.
Is that after you've had 4 glasses of wine, you get to cut? I don't know. So my superpower evidently is a sense of humor. So both of my sons have done comedy, and they've done comedy scripts that are international and stuff, and everybody in the family blames it on me. Pass it on. once I went on a listing appointment, so that's before I get to the job, with an older man, and we get to this guy's house, and he said, go to my basement. I'm sure I have a dinosaur down there. I want you guys to look at it. A dinosaur, really? So we went down there, and sure enough, there was this bony structure. It looked like a raccoon had disintegrated just to bone in a walking position. And then the rest of the basement from 1905 was filled with cigars and vodka, full vodka bottles that this man had bought out every thrifty store every time they had a sale on vodka and a sale on cigars. But can you imagine going down there and seeing how volatile it is? Like, I'm glad we weren't smoking, you know? Like, so that's all.
Okay, I will go next. I'm Evie Wright. I'm president. My superpower is, well, I'm pretty good at working alone. So as long as you don't bug me, I can get a whole lot done, especially the more I have to do, the better I work. So I won't do laundry if I have nothing to do, but I'll do laundry if I have like a paper to write and a meal to plan and grocery shopping to do. So the more I have to do, the better, as long as no one's bugging me. So that's my superpower. I don't know if it's actually a good thing, but there it is. Sandra?
Hi, I am Sandra Clark Jergenson. I'm a recipe developer and cooking teacher, and my superpower would be funny is shopping with the Holy Ghost is what my friend calls, because I can go to Nordstrom Rack and if I buy something, it can come up as a penny. Or thrift shopping, like you show up and it is something that was made for you.
Mm-hmm.
And real life is, I kind of have a sixth sense when it comes to food, and I can figure things out and make flavors taste right.
We're all going to benefit from that today. And Lisa, why don't you go ahead and wrap us up, and then you can get started.
Okay, great. Hi, everybody. My name is Lisa Fischer. I'm a life and leadership coach and also a yoga instructor. And my superpower is my positivity. It drives some people crazy, but most people like it. I can almost always find the silver lining, or I can always look for an opportunity in the face of, a challenge, or like we are now, this challenging time. But so I'm going to start. I was asked, we were asked, Sandra and I were asked to do a little self-care talk. So I'm going to begin my conversation with y'all, and this will be interactive, of course, because it's boring if it isn't. I'm not going to just talk at you. I would like to start out whenever I talk about self-care with awareness and self-awareness. Self-awareness is in truly that opportunity that you can take for yourself to feel what you feel in any moment, to know where you're at, to get a sense from all of your sensory organs. So your nose, your tongue, your ears, your mouth, your fingertips, all of your sensory organs, to help you sense and become more present in that moment. And it's the key, in my opinion, and you can find lots and lots of research about this, to mindfulness. Mindfulness is a word that gets talked about and thrown around quite a bit. But if you think about mindfulness as being this opportunity to become very self-aware and in the moment, then that's a really wonderful step towards taking care of yourself. So that's how I'm going to sort of start us out. So what I'd like to do, and I know we're not in a room, but if you guys can all unmute yourselves, it's totally fine, because I want to go like popcorn style. I don't care if somebody starts talking and somebody else, we'll make that work. But one word only. Tell me what mindfulness is to you. One word. Go.
Presence. Awareness.
Coloring.
Inner self.
Great.
Deep breaths.
In the moment.
Peace.
Zen, maybe Zen or breathing.
Aware.
Yeah. It looks,
So I want to take everybody through a little exercise. I want you to just sit here for a moment and close your eyes. And if you're sitting, make sure that you can place your feet flat on the ground. And if you are sitting in a chair where you can put your back up, scoot your butt back and sit up nice and tall so that you can actually feel the small of your back have a little bit of a curve right at wherever you're sitting, and your feet are firmly planted on the ground. And just drop your shoulders down, drop your chin down slightly, and close your eyes. And I want you to take 3 deep inhales in through your nose and slow exhale out through your nose. And as you do this, focus on your nose as the sensory organ and become the observer of yourself right now in assessing and the quality of that breath. So when you do that, it's an opportunity to really see, does it feel cool, coming in? How does it feel when the air is coming out? And just be that observer, kind of the witness of your own self. And then just slowly open your eyes and just get a sense of, how that kind of made you feel, your overall body. Does it help you to feel a little bit more grounded? Maybe a little more here and now. So one of the things that I like to do when I'm talking about anything to do with mindfulness and self-care is addressing or identifying for your own self when you can be the most aware of you, of your body, of how your body feels, of how a sensation feels, even if it's a sound or, another kind of a reminder. There's sort of a thought going through your head that maybe you had a rough morning, maybe you had a rough evening and you're still kind of trying to process some of that. But how does that feel for you in your whole body? And in order to help yourself, it's like self-coaching in a way, is what self-care, in my opinion, is all about. It's being aware enough in the moment to take care of you. So in any one given instance or challenge, when you might be having a rough conversation, or, it's day number 30 of being sitting indoors because we've had so much smoke and we're not going out, there's these things that kind of continue to build up for us. It's like, how can you care for yourself? One of the tools is to bring yourself back to yourself by planting your feet firmly on the ground, being very grounded and allowing yourself to know that you're completely supported by the universe. And you can then become this observer or identifier of you just with your breath. That's one small tool. So there's your tool that I'm giving you. How did that feel for everybody? Good?
Oh, good.
I imagine a lot of you do yoga and some of you do, maybe some of you meditate and whatnot, but that's just one tool that I love to share with everybody. Good. Another facet, I guess, if you will, is I'm going to bring a little yoga into this. And when I approach any type of a self-care activity with this concept of being mindful or very aware of where my body is, either in space, how I'm feeling, do I feel like I'm grounded, or do I feel like I'm just all over the place right now because maybe I'm upset about something, or frightened, or there's those emotions that start to come in. So I'd like to, if you're in a place where you can stand, I'd like to have everybody stand up. And I've got my earphones in, so I'm going to have to, it might be kind of difficult, but I'll try to do this and you can see me. Yeah, that's not so good. But at any rate, I'd like you to just stand up. And we're going to do kind of the same thing as you stand, like you did when you were sitting. So stand with your feet about hip distance apart. And plant your feet firmly into the ground. Drop your arms down to your sides. Drop your chin slightly. I like to think of you have this very ripe peach right underneath your chin. And if you press down too far, you're going to squish it. And if you lift up too much, you're going to lose it. So you want to just hang on to it and just go ahead and close your eyes. Go back to that moment where you can find your breath. Just be the observer of your breath. Yeah, perfect. You guys are good. And begin to start to become aware of your strength, your inner strength. Imagining that your energy is kind of flowing out of your fingertips, kind of beaming out of your fingertips. And with every inhalation and exhalation, say to yourself, my body is fierce and fabulous. And one of the things that you can do while you're sort of using that as a mantra, if you will, slowly go ahead and open your eyes. And in an opportunity to bring yourself to yourself physically, I like to invite people to try tree pose. So tree pose is a great pose. It's all about gaining clarity and creating balance, right? So you can stand on your right foot and root it in the ground. If you need to hold on to the back of your chair or something, that's totally fine. And you don't have to bring your foot all the way up. You can have your toes just tap down on the floor. But if you want to, bring your foot up as far as you can and press it into your leg as you press your leg towards your foot at the same time. And try to cultivate that same type of awareness. You can bring your hands into your heart center. Or if it feels okay, you can begin to extend your arms upward like a tree. So you extend, your feet are the roots into the earth, nurturing, being nurtured by the root, by the earth. And as you blossom your arms upward, reach them towards the sun. This can feed your soul, bring you some clarity, some balance. And awareness that your fingertips are up, your feet, your one foot is touching your leg, your one foot is on the ground. Slowly bring your palms back down and you can release your leg and release your arms down. It's the same thing. So you can go ahead and take a seat down, another seat. You can do the other leg later if you want to. I know we have a time cap, so I don't want to go over my time. But it's another tool, in my opinion, that you can use to really bring more awareness back to your body. I mean, it was not uncommon for me when I was working for the university to be standing in my office oftentimes, going into tree pose just to help myself balance and find that clarity. Sometimes it works to really identify what physical kind of motion or thing you can do to cultivate that awareness for yourself, to become mindful. And all of that leads into self-care. And so as a segue into the lovely Sandra, another concept of mindfulness or self-awareness, and definitely self-care, is being aware enough of not only how you feel, how your body feels physically, but what you say and what you put in your mouth. So if we are able, if we're in a time, like for me personally, I'll just share my own little story in just 2 seconds. I mean, this quarantine smoke-filled last 6, 7, 8 months has been very challenging for me personally. It's challenged my superpower, definitely. And it's also been a very interesting opportunity for me to look at how can I overcome some of that very down moments. And for me, food has always been something that I love. I love food. I love to eat good food. I like to prepare meals. I feel like breaking bread with friends and family is just an amazing opportunity to share and a way to show and express my love. And it's been hard because we haven't been able to do that as much. You know, it's been my small group, my husband and me, and you know, my kids now, they're home, which is really amazing and wonderful. But along those lines, I've had to be very mindful and aware about what I put into my mouth. It's been really easy for me to go for, I'm just going to eat some of that, you know, those chips in there or whatever. And I just want to make the comment that being mindful is such a self-care opportunity for you, for yourself, about what you do in every way. And I think food is one of those amazing ways in which we can all relate to some degree, right? Because we all eat. Most of us probably like to share our meals with family and friends. And it's a really wonderful way to care for yourself and actually for others as well. So that's my little segue. I've just given you 2 little tools. I hope they're helpful and I hope they make sense for you and it's something new.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. That was
Thank you, Lisa.
You're welcome.
Lisa.
Thanks, Lisa.
Thank you.
All right, I guess it's me. So my segue, and I'm happy to tell you a little bit about more how I got to this place while we're making cookies. If anyone is cooking along or is doing it later, that's really fun. I'm sharing with you, and I think Evie or whoever it was that did the newsletter sent this one out, or Carol, with the recipe I wrote for a flourless maple peanut butter cookie. This one is delicious because it's meant to be something that you do just for yourself. That's why I made this recipe so very small, because I wanted it to be something that I'm not making cookies for a bunch of people, but this is something I could just do for myself in one bowl and bake very, very quickly. And not have to like do batches or whatever, just fast. So I grew up eating normal food, having a regular, American childhood, but became anorexic as a teenager. And so I was constantly scrutinizing what I was eating and not paying attention to my body. And coming around years and years later, I finally realized that I could have a lot of joy in food, in the way that taking control of the way that I cook it and paying attention to the way that I feel when I eat. And so when I cook, I try really hard not to scrutinize all the things, but instead pay attention to eating foods and paying attention to how I feel when I eat them and how I feel full. So it's not that I don't like sugar, I do. I also like eating sweets that when I feel like I've had them, I feel a little bit of fullness and I feel good, rather than I feel like tired or sluggish or whatever. So these ones are really fun because they use things that make me feel good. And I like that when I eat it, I feel like I've had something to eat, not just I've had something that's a total treat. So going in here for this one, I just preheated my oven to 350, is 3/4 a cup of peanut butter. You can use any nut butter. This recipe is really flexible if you want to do like almond butter or cashew or sunflower, whatever's good for you. And I'm just looking at the hash marks on my bowl right here, because that's my favorite way to measure it, by not trying too hard. I write recipes with measuring cups, but in my regular life, I usually go by sentences and smaller cues. Okay, so that's about 3/4 a cup of peanut butter. And you can use like Skippy, You can use Jif. You can use the natural grind stuff from the machine at the co-op. Whatever it is you do, the recipe works with all of the above. It will just be slightly softer or slightly a little bit firmer, and that's fine. So we're just gonna dump everything in. 1 egg, 3/4 a cup of peanut butter. So there's no additional fat in there except for the nuts are playing that role. And to that, I'll be adding in about 1/3 cup to 1/2 cup of maple syrup. Really, you could do less. It's just based on the sweetness level that you like. And I'm again just eyeballing because that's what I'm all about. All right. And I'm using some maple syrup. And in with that, scrape this all down. I'm just gonna muscle it. And you could get out an electric pan mixer, or you can just stir it together with a spoon. It's not like we have to cream sugars or do anything complicated for this one. It's meant to be easy. And to that, I'm going to add in a little bit of salt, about 1/4 teaspoon or a pinch, which I forgot to pull over. It's right here. I keep it right next to where I'm cooking. That looks about right to me. And then a little bit of baking soda because it makes it not so dense, about 1/4 teaspoon. Welcome to the one thing I will measure, is leaveners. Don't get those, you know, messed up. And if there's any clumps in the baking soda, crumble them up with your hand because no one wants to wreck your cookie experience with a crumble of like baking soda in there. So that's all whisked in. And then essentially the secret ingredient that makes these cookies crack, this is very important, is some cayenne pepper. Just a tiny, tiny bit of cayenne pepper makes it interesting, and it doesn't make them so spicy. It just gives them a little kick in the pants. So just a pinch, whatever a pinch is to you. Ooh. 1/8 of a teaspoon, maybe 1/4, maybe like a wisp, whatever. This is it. It's totally done and ready to either stick in the fridge and you can let it chill, or you can stick in the freezer and then they'll be firmer or they'll be slightly more puddly. But either way, they're going to bake up just fine. And if you have a thicker peanut butter, like a traditional one, it will be a little bit thicker. If you're using one that was runny like mine, it will look a lot like this. But if you freeze them, they get firm enough that you can put the hash marks on them and make them look like classic peanut butter cookies. You could take them if they're cold enough or they're firm enough, and you can roll them in sugar if you're into it. It's a really flexible recipe that you could swap around, whether you're using maple syrup, whether you want to use coconut sugar, whether you want to use the white sugar that, you know, is everywhere. It's all fine. The whole just behind every recipe I write, I tell people, you're not making this for me. You're making it for yourself. You might as well use the things that you like. And that's kind of my philosophy on any good recipe is a flexible recipe. And so I write all of my recipes to do that. So just like this, it couldn't be easier. And I'm just gonna pop these in the toaster oven really fast. And these will bake up in like 12 to 14 minutes. If I had done a full sheet pan, this was enough to make about 12 cookies, maybe 8 if you make yours a little bit bigger, but that's it. It's meant to be simple. And come back to the philosophy of when I was anorexic and younger, I would cook for other people. That was something I did for other people. And coming back around to myself and my body and being more aware, cooking became something that I could do small, not just big for other people, but something I could do for myself. And that's kind of, there are recipes that I make that are big and are fancy and take time. But I'd like to come back to that sense of mindfulness and awareness of cooking small and in a way that feels like it's good for me. And I was curious, since Lisa's really good at incorporating everyone, if there was a way that you cook small for yourself, where you cook something that really feels good to you and wasn't about everyone else.
Yeah.
So chip in if you'd like to share. I'd love to hear it.
Egg salad.
Yeah.
You know, I live by myself, and so when I cook I like to cook, say dinner, and then I just freeze individual serving sizes, put those in the freezer, and then I can just whip those out when I need them. So that's my strategy.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I used to love to cook for other people, and it was kind of like a process and a tradition, but I've lived by myself for a long time, and so it just was kind of, I just ignored it. It was almost like I didn't want to focus on myself. But I've been doing a lot of grilling, and I try and, like, I'll grill on Sunday, and then I put it in other things. I try and be healthy, but I really try and focus on what's good for me. And yeah, it's been good.
Worked pretty well, although because I only did half the recipe, I didn't get quite the entire biscuit.
Meredith.
Hi, Meredith.
Making cookies too. Awesome.
That's great.
So I have just started. I mean, I've always been cooking for my family, but now that our kids are getting older, my boys are like teenagers, they've got their own schedule, they're doing their own thing. So now it's like what used to be this big production at dinner time has just come down to my husband and I being able to eat what we want and not focusing on what the kids like and trying to make it bland and plain. Now we actually get to eat how we want to eat. So that's been nice. It's been an adjustment, but it's nice.
That's great.
A little bit opposite of making for yourself. I lived alone for a really long time too. And it was always, I never made like enchiladas or lasagna or things that you really make like giant pans of. It's kind of hard to make lasagna small. So one of the joys of my brother living with me and Steve is that I get to make things like lasagna and we can eat it all in a couple of sittings without, having to deal with freezing it and stuff. So that makes me happy. I like making lasagna.
I love that.
I can jump in here. So I came from a family where we didn't cook, where we just ate out all the time. So it was eating out at Carl's Jr. or get a Subway sandwich, or just kind of everybody fends for themselves a little bit. And so I took cooking classes in college because I wanted to change that. I wanted to learn how to follow a recipe and how to make meals for me and my husband now. And so just making salads and creating a schedule. So, Tuesdays taco nights or Wednesdays pasta night and having a chicken dinner. But it's still in the core of me. I still want to eat out. So it's a challenge for me just to be mindful and saying, instead of doing what I always did as a kid and go and get that fast food, even just something as making a sandwich with all my favorite fixings like extra pickles and olives and add my favorite cheese, and just making that kind of that sandwich that just, it's not fast food. So.
Nice. Anybody else? I'm curious, Lisa, with all of your mindfulness, what is your favorite thing to make for yourself?
For myself, yeah, that's a really good question. It depends. It depends on the mood I'm in. Mm-hmm. So if I'm feeling like I need some comfort for myself, which I have to say this last month has been very challenging, and my favorite thing is I make pasta, but I make a small amount of pasta, so I don't eat like too much, because I could easily do that. And it's just the way that I fix it. I put, special kind of cheese on it, and I put salt on it because I love salt on my pasta. It's my favorite kind of comfort sort of go-to when I need a little, this is complete and total me time. I'm having pasta with butter, Parmesan cheese, and salt.
Yummy.
Yummy, right?
Yeah, And I think there isn't a wrong. Oh, good, Wendy, talk. You're
Sorry.
You know all about the food in town. What are you doing for you?
We got into the nice habit with like Heather of not having to worry about our kids, even though we weren't technically empty nesters. Our older son was gone a lot and wasn't home. So it was like now with both of them home, and it's like, and they eat everything, no matter if I make lasagna or, you know, whatever, something that took 3 hours to make, there's hardly ever any leftovers, which is really, it's kind of frustrating because it's like, I like to cook, but I don't like to cook that much every day on weekdays. But I do, like, usually use my lunches as something that I know other people don't really want to have. I have a green salad, which is like the whole refrigerator worth of, you know, veggies in it and cheese and nuts and whatever. Or I really like, that did remind me, like, I should be making what I like, and who cares what other people for that. So I like grain salads, like with, you know, wheat berries or brown rice or something. My family eats white rice like crazy. But something really nutty and a bunch of vegetables and balsamic kind of, a little spicy. And yeah, I like that kind of stuff. So I should probably make that for myself. It fills you up.
Yeah, it feels different when you cook for yourself. I hadn't done it really at all because I was always cooking for other people, or if I was doing something for myself, it was always quick, until I was alone for a whole week working on a book that I had farmed out my children. I was away from my husband, and I was there to write and research a book. And in that time, I had hunkered down for days, you know, not thinking about myself, eating something fast, until finally I was starving for something real. And I'm like, it's time to take the time for you. And I went to the farmer's market, and I remember buying like a eggplant, a zucchini, things that I had never done before, because I'm always, you know, buying a lot of food because I'm always cooking for other people. And just composing one simple meal for myself using all these teeny things it wasn't about anyone else. It wasn't about leftovers. And it just changed the way I looked at food ever since. On really attuning to what am I hungry for? Yeah. What makes me feel good? And it changes the way that I cook, and it changes the way that I teach cooking, to stop, you know, thinking just what does the recipe say? But when I work with clients or I work with cooking students, I say, what do you want? What feels good to you? And really, like Lisa said, coming back to yourself and coming back to your body. Yeah. And my cookies are smelling really good. Yes. They'll be out in just a moment. How are Meredith's?
Where is she?
I don't know where she went.
We lost her.
She's tending cookies.
Oh, there she is.
She's making
look
cookies.
at her face.
Awesome. Meredith, you have to be like the guinea pig for everyone. You have to taste the cookies.
No, here's the problem. I wasn't making cookies. I was sadly looking at my peanut butter jar, and I was out of peanut butter. And the almond butter, I could do almond butter, but then I looked at my maple syrup, and there wasn't enough maple syrup. So I'm like, all right, that's next time. I made biscuits. That's what I was making my face.
Yeah, you get your good.
It's the accidental comment about the biscuit cutter that my husband made that I forgot I was on audio for. He got a new biscuit cutter.
But we could have played around. You could have done it with sugar. You could have done it with honey. The only thing is with honey, it browns a little bit faster. It's just chemistry. And yeah, there's ways.
But I'm going to make them.
Oh, good. I'm going to grab mine right now.
I'm going to make them later.
Yeah, I want to try them.
Okay. Yeah, that was like super fast.
Yeah.
They're out. Wow.
So how long did that take?
Yum.
What were they in there for? Like, I put it on convection so it would go a little bit faster. Yeah. So that was probably like 9 minutes instead of 12 to 14.
But did you bake at 350?
Let's see. Hold them up.
I did bake at 350, and I'm totally going to eat one, but not burn my mouth by getting a fork.
Yeah, they're so pretty.
I know, and it's just like enough. And the best part is you can freeze the dough like in a little container and just scoop out a spoonful for yourself.
I was gonna
not make cookies for everybody else.
And
you can have secret cookies.
You can have secret cookies that you don't even have to bake if you don't want.
No, because you don't have to look like cookies because you can freeze the dough and just scoop it.
Like scoop it.
Because it's not like a hard dough. It's easy to scoop frozen.
Yeah. Okay.
And there's no eggs or anything, so you don't
There's
have
one
to worry
There's
about.
one egg. There's one egg.
Okay. Who doesn't do eggs, you can totally make a flat spread chia egg.
Oh,
It's perfect.
okay.
They're super good.
I can't wait to make them. Yay.
Enjoy. And thanks for
Thank
letting me
you.
talk about food. I love
Yes,
that.
thank
Like
you,
the favorite
Sandra.
thing. Thanks, Sandra.
Thank you both. That was excellent.
Welcome.
Yeah, I would have made them if I wasn't in Bodega Bay. I just didn't want.
Yeah.
See, and this is the good part about Zoom is that we could watch someone cook, because if we were in person, it would have been hard for Sandra to do this. So
Have you seen me in action, Evie? I haul
She
around
could do it.
cooktops and portable ovens.
Do you?
She could have made the dough.
I've made
Oh
a
my
three-course meal like in gyms before.
Oh, that's so funny.
It's good to know.
Leah's outside.
Evie, did you record this?
Yes.
Oh, good, because I had a compliance review, and so I missed Lisa's portion, but I wanted to really see it. So
yeah,
check it out.
Well, hopefully you'll like it.
Oh, of course I will. You're very positive.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Hey, Carol, since you just got here, do you want to share what your superpower is? That's what we all shared at the beginning.
Oh.
You can think about it.
Organization, Uber organization. That's my superpower. It's kind of boring, but it's my strength and my comfort zone. It's actually like it's actually like a security, you know, the more prepared I am, then that's my security. Like, yeah, so. And I'm a pilot. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. Wow.
That's a good superpower.
Well, thank you very much, Lisa and Sandra. That
You're
was
welcome.
great.
Thanks for having us.
You're welcome. Thank you for being here. This was fantastic. It was a nice, I know it's the beginning of the year, but it's nice to do things a little bit differently. So we really appreciate it. Thank you.
We like it.
Thank you.
So we're not doing committee reports at business meetings anymore. So do any committees have any reports?
Yeah.
Did someone say yes? Okay.
I'm
I know.
I can actually have a little something if that's
go ahead,
okay.
Lisa. Yes, please.
I missed the latter part of the retreat when everybody was signing up for things, and I know that the signups are posted now and you can still sign up, but if anybody's interested, I'd love a co-leader for the Dream It Be It program. It's going to be different this year because this year started out different. So we have a different concept. I know that Diana, who had to get off early, talked a little bit about this at the retreat, but if you weren't there or you don't remember or you're interested, I can tell you in more detail. You're welcome to contact me. However, just a very quick snippet. The idea is to have an outdoor fair in the spring where we'd set up different booths for students and we'd group them up, and we'll make it all COVID proper, etc. But to basically go through what we would normally go through in a calendar year with some other really fun things. So it's a little bit different. It'll be one full day as opposed to 9 days across the school year. If you're interested, I would love for you to go ahead and contact me or just sign up, and I'll be talking about this more. Also, just now I'm putting a plug in for the soup auction because this is another big thing, and Diana's not on here. I think she had to leave early. I'm sort of in charge of the whole encouraging everybody to sign up for at least 5 businesses. We're asking everyone to do that to solicit some soup auction items. So again, if you need some support or some help in making that first phone call or whatever, just call me. Let me know. We can go through, we can role model, whatever makes you feel comfortable. I'm done.
Okay.
That's a great idea, Lisa. Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And Lisa, I have some time set aside for you at the business meeting to plug that again.
Okay.
So the soup auction it's usually the Thursday before Thanksgiving.
It's November 19th.
Thank you. Okay, are there any other announcements? Finance committee's been canceled for tomorrow, if you're on the finance committee, so.
So I can delete it from the calendar officially?
Yes, we can delete that from the calendar. Does anyone have anything they want to share for Happy Money?
Oh,
Mayor?
I want to do hands. I just wanted to put a plug in for Hands On Committee. If you read the newsletter, you'll see that Carol put in some patterns for masks. If we can get some masks going. We need masks for our little, what are they called? Little care packages.
Oh, the hygiene kits?
The hygiene kits,
Yeah.
for the hygiene kits. Yes, so that would be great. We would love some help with that. I think there's 3 different patterns. So, you can choose whatever one appeals to you. That would be great. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Mary.
Sure.
Anyone else? Does anyone want to share for Happy Money? No one's happy?
Okay, I'll go again.
I'll share. The air quality is much better today. That makes me happy.
Yay! I would say absolutely.
Here.
I will say that I'm really happy right now because I have both daughters at home for the week, and it is just it's so much fun to have a full house.
Well, I'm happy because
go ahead.
Mary, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I'm happy because, well, the air quality today is really nice, and I got to run. Where I haven't been able to run for about, I don't know, a month. So that was really nice. So then I could take my dogs out for a walk also, and so they were happy. Happy dogs, happy house.
I'm happy to hear you wonderful ladies doing wonderful things for the community, and I'm happy to join in.
Thanks.
Yeah, we love having you here. Carol, that's Meredith's mom.
Oh, hi,
Yeah,
Margaret.
just so you know.
Hi, Meredith.
Hi, nice to meet you all.
Yeah, I'm just happy my compliance review is over. They never give you 100% because they always find something, but it's a learning experience too. So it was our first one since we've transitioned to this new firm. So yeah, so that's why I was late, but yeah, it's done. So, and I'm taking tomorrow and Friday off. So I'm happy about that.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Great. Wendy?
I'm happy we came to, we're here in Bodega Bay Monday through Friday, and today's my 31st wedding anniversary. And and my poor husband, this is like my 3rd Zoom already today. And I promised it, and I'm like, I really want to go to this meeting. He's like, so we're gonna go out and I don't know. Yesterday we went and had a crab sandwich and some clam chowder, and then went on a little hike at Bodega Head. And today I think we're gonna go try to find some beer to bring back or something. But it's beautiful. There's like where you can.
The air's better up there. Oh, good. Yeah.
There's the bay right there. So. Yeah, the air it's like 5 right now, and yesterday it was like 20 or 30 or something. Yeah. So it's been better than it was up there.
Nice.
Did you go to that little crab shack place along by the marina?
Yeah, we went to one of them. We might try another one like tomorrow. Yeah.
I can't get enough crab. What a great trip.
Oh, I have another one. I don't know how much time any of you spend in Woodland, but 25A used to dead end like on the other side of Spring Lake. It didn't go all the way to 102. And then they built a little bit of 25A into my neighborhood. And y'all, they're finishing the road. They're paving the road.
Oh my God, that is
going to go all the way through now?
That is huge.
Yeah, it's going to go all the way through, and I'm going to be able to get to 113 without going through neighborhoods. I'm so excited.
Nice.
I'm so excited. People, you drive out there, and there's all kinds of people walking on it, and everyone's like, "Build the road!" Spring Lake is very excited right now. Oh, thank you, Lisa.
Thank you, guys. I gotta go.
Thanks, Lisa.
Bye,
Okay.
Lisa.
Bye.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who wants to share before we get going? Okay, thank you very much for coming.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye. Our next
Bye.
Wednesday lunch meeting is October 14th. So business meeting next week.
Okay, see you
Okay.
then.
Bye.
Bye.